So, guys, this is something I'm finding extremely interesting. A lot of major news organizations, Fox, CNN, 60 Minutes, are all coming out confirming UFOs. The Pentagon has come out and said that there are UFOs. All these people that you're seeing are from the Navy or the Air Force, and they're all saying either they were on a Navy ship and UFOs were flying above it, or that they were flying in, a jet or a plane and they were encountering UFOs that were flying next to it, or, somehow coming at it. And they're saying these are UFOs. These aren't anything we've ever seen on Earth before, and the technology, doesn't exist. Really, what's happening is all these news organizations, the reason why I'm pointing out Fox and CNN and 60 Minutes is, Fox is, one way of the political spectrum and CNN is the other way. So whether you're on the left or the right, both of these organizations are saying that there's UFOs. Now, if you know anything about anything, Fox and CNN and all that good stuff, that's basically the Iron Sheik and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. That's Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. You think that they're fighting and they're against each other, but they're really the same. And if you ever watch their news clips, they kind of get the same information. They might just spit it a different way, but these are all one and the same. Same with Republican and Democrat. You think that the Republican and Democrats are fighting against each other, but they're really behind closed doors going along. And the president of the United States, whether it's Trump or Biden or whoever, is the Vince McMahon of all this. They're all on the same page. But the page that they're all on now is there's UFOs. Now, a couple of months ago, you had the Israeli Space Security Chief, which is basically like the NASA of Israel, and he came out and said there are aliens and there are UFOs, and Trump knows about it. At the time, Trump was president, and he's like, Trump knows all about this. You can ask him. I know Trump knows about this because I have documents that I've seen that the United States government has seen, and we all know about it. He was saying that there was a galactic federation where there were aliens and high up military officials that were communicating with each other, and that these military and government officials are acknowledging that there are UFOs and alien life forms. Now, over 30 years ago, people would see the stealth bomber flying in states like Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, and they would assume it was a UFO. You could see people, taking pictures or like old VHS where they would see this plane, which doesn't look like any sort of like F-14 or fighter jet or any airplane that we have. So they were saying this must be a UFO. And the military really wasn't saying it was or it wasn't. They were kind of just denying everything because this was a new aircraft that the military was developing. They were testing it. So they weren't saying whether they had something or they didn't have something. They were staying mum on it. What you've been having the last couple of days is these pyramid-shaped UFOs that are flying around. They're hovering over destroyers. They're flying in the air. They'll fly and then they'll go into the water. So you can see videos on this if you Google it or go on YouTube where these aircraft, whatever they are, they'll be flying in the air. They'll stop in midair and then they'll shoot straight into the ocean. They go into the ocean and then they pop back up out of the ocean. So, of course, people are saying these are UFOs and these are alien aircraft. They could be the next aircraft that the military is developing. The military is usually I've always heard it was 10 years ahead of what we have in the public. And then I've read places where it's 20 years, possibly 30 years ahead of what we have in the public. Their technology, the things that they show you. So when they're showing you the stealth bomber, well, that's already been tested and developed, 20 years before they let the public even see it. So this new aircraft, which may be an aircraft that could fly in the air and then somehow submerge underwater, like go straight into the ocean, then pop back up again, that could be a new military aircraft. And they're saying that it's, an alien UFO or whatever you want to call it. So you don't know if this is a cover because it's military equipment that's being seen. You don't know if it's really aliens and the government's just trying to ease you into it. You don't know if this is some sort of false flag where they're going to say aliens are attacking or there's aliens and create some sort of, panic or fear where they can keep control over you and tell you you have to be, staying in your house or locked in your house for another year. It could be anything. All these things come into play. The only thing I would tell you to do is, if you like to research this stuff, research Project Bluebeam, research Project Paperclip. And now there's a couple of people out there. In the beginning of the video, I showed you a guy named Charles Hall. There's Bob Lazarus. Charles Hall was a guy that actually worked on a military base. Like, he's legitly there. He shows up. And he worked on a military base. It was an Air Force base, and he claims that he's seen these types of spacecraft. But he was saying that he saw aliens. He saw people that he didn't think were from Earth that were communicating with government officials and military officials, and they were developing aircraft together. Like, they were kind of like having conversations. He said he has a conversation with them. So he has a bunch of videos on YouTube. You have to type in Charles Hall and you can look up his stuff. It's fun to watch. Whether you believe it or not, it's a different story, but it's definitely interesting. Now, Bob Lazarus, he claims he was working at Area 51 and he was working on all sorts of different things with alien spacecraft, and he was inside one. He was on Joe Rogan. He does a lot of interviews. This guy, I don't know if he's legit. He got caught with prostitutes or doing some sort of prostitution scam. There's a whole bunch of stuff about him. So I don't know if you know what I'm saying. I'm not sure if he's just saying this to, just get money. I don't know. You would have to watch his videos. When you watch his videos, he's very convincing. Whatever he's saying sounds true. But like I said, all these things are very fun to watch. They're interesting to watch. I actually like Charles Hall the best. This guy goes into this detailed story of aliens and how, he talked with them and met with them and all the stuff that they do. So if you're into stuff like this, check it out. Check out, Charles Hall. Check out Bob Lazarus. Check out Project Bluebeam. And just type in, Pyramid UFO. All right, guys, hit that like button, subscribe, and comment. Please let me know what you think below. Please leave a comment. I'd love to read them. I know that there's a lot more to this than I'm reading or that I know of. So write what you know. I love to read about it. God bless you guys, and I will talk to you guys later.